So the cost of almost everything seems to be going up. Our wallets definitely feeling the pain, but who's hurting the worst in the Tar Heel State? We're about to find out. New list puts Asheville atop the priciest places to live in the state. We're talking about cost of living here. And so to understand these numbers you see on the screen, just consider here that the national average for all of these factors is 100. So looking at things like housing, food, utilities, healthcare, Asheville came in above that national average in every factor except for transportation, but you can see really just barely under the national average there. And to put it into some perspective here, in the same study, Charlotte had every factor that was on the table below the national average except for healthcare.
Well, November is Homelessness Awareness Month. According to the latest data, there are more than 3,000 people experiencing homelessness in Mecklenburg County. During September, around 660 individuals entered homelessness. Of those people, 75% experienced homelessness for the first time. WCNC Charlotte's Lexi Wilson takes a look at how the county is seeking solutions to tackle the issue.
Mecklenburg County leaders have a goal to make homelessness rare, brief, and non-reoccurring, but with that comes challenges. Mecklenburg County is trying to solve homelessness, but it isn't easy.
It is going to take all of us to work on solutions together.
This year, public and private sectors released a strategy to end and prevent homelessness in Charlotte-Mecklenburg. It's called A Home for All.
It's going to take more than government. That's why we have the banks and the hospital systems involved.
The framework looks at prevention, shelter, affordable housing, policy, and funding, to name a few. It's somewhat similar to what Houston, Texas implemented about 10 years ago. Houston teamed up with county agencies, local service providers, corporations, and nonprofits with a housing first approach, moving the most vulnerable straight from the streets into apartments. The city cut homelessness by 63%.
We have been able to house more than 25,000 people experiencing homelessness over the last decade.
Mecklenburg County adopted a housing first approach a few years ago, but now that the public and private sectors are coming together, there's hope A Home for All will help solve homelessness. Karen Pelletier with Mecklenburg County Community Support Services says one of the biggest challenges they face is rent outpacing wages.
There's a number of people that I met at the shelter a couple weeks ago that this is their first episode of homelessness in our community, and they became homeless because when their lease renewed, their rent increased $400 a month.
It's also really hard to get them out of homelessness if you don't have an apartment to put them in. That's a market rate affordable apartment. So historically in Houston, we have definitely benefited from the fact that we have a pretty good housing market here.
And the A Home for All strategy does have several parts to it, and it's really just in the beginning stages. It's also important to note that solving our area's homelessness problem will take time. Reporting in Uptown for WCNC Charlotte, I'm Lexi Wilson.